They're not angels. The orbs, they're not angels. They are not angels. And let me tell you why. These are some of my mini Bibles. As you can see, some are very old. Some date back to the 1700s. Some are in Greek, some are in ancient Greek, and of course I have the standard English versions. I've also read some of the Hebrew Sephers, including the Sefer Yetzirah, the Vedas, the Keys of Solomon, the Book of Enoch, wild read. You should definitely read that. The hidden books of Adam and Eve, the Apocrypha. If there's a religious text out there that refers to our origins and what our beginnings were, I've read it. If there's a text out there that refers to humanity's origins or the secrets of our existence, I've read it. You see, I've been searching for the truth of what we existed and where we began all my life, ever since I was a child. And I was lucky enough to have parents that if I exhibited an interest in something, they would help me find out as much as possible. I have also sought out the answers in science. I got into coding at one point. I have done quite a bit of research on our origins. I'm not a religious fanatic by any means, but I have, ever since I was a young child, wanted to know, what is this? What is it we exist in? And where did it all begin? And I have sought out those answers. The books are too numerous to list that I've read, and the places where I sought answers, too numerous to go into. I've also been lucky enough to see many of the ancient sites in person, so I have sought out the answers. But I will tell you this, these objects we're seeing in the sky, not what these books are referring to. If and when that happens, it won't be if I squint a certain way, or if someone zooms in on it with a telescope and turns it just so it kind of looks like it. No, when and if what these books describe happens, there will be pandemonium in the streets. There will be no doubt in your mind about what you're seeing. Drones will not be chasing them. Drone operators will be seeking to hide in the mountains. The God written about in this book is not a fearful God. His angels will be here on a mission. They will not be twinkling back in response to you saying Jesus. They will not be communicating with you telepathically. That won't be happening. They will be here on a mission, and they will be focused on executing that mission. They will be doing nothing else. The only thing humanity will be doing will be fleeing to the mountains, looking for a place to hide and survive, which seems unlikely if you read the end of these books. When and if what is described in the book of Revelation ever happens, there will be no doubt about what you're seeing. You will not question it. You will know you're seeing exactly what you're seeing. A bit more about the books. As you can see, they're very old, very fragile. I hesitate to handle them much. I can read to you from one, if you like. Just so you know, I can read them and translate them. Just a quick little bit of a read. I'm sure you don't want to hear me go on for hours in a foreign language. Πιστεύω σε έναν Θεό, Πατέρα Παντοκράτορα, ποιητήν ουρανού και γης, ορατών τε πάντων τε οράτο. There are texts I didn't have access to, and because I've read so much and seen so many different translations, I am well aware of the fact that translating things verbatim is almost impossible from foreign languages. Even in our own language, when we're speaking to someone, sometimes you might say something and mean it a certain way, and they'll take it a whole different way, and you'll be like, that's not what I meant at all. So be very careful. What's written in these texts is definitely insightful, but I wouldn't take anything word for word. Now, there are texts I've never been able to decipher myself, and therefore, like the ancient Sumerian texts, I don't trust translations. If I can't read it, speak it, and try to come to a conclusion myself about what I'm reading, I will read it and take it with a grain of salt, only because I've seen so many different translations. Again, I've sought those answers out in science. These are not angels. Stop talking to them. Stop trying to communicate with them telepathically. Not angels. Definitely not angels.